guys, welcome to another video. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. We are gonna do some Christmas tree decorating today. We are currently out on my screened-in porch, and my husband Sam and I went and picked up our Christmas tree 2 days ago. We do get a live fresh cut tree. And this year I decided to do something a little different, and I am putting our tree on our screened-in porch. We do get cold temperatures here, so this is technically not like a 3 seasons room, but I utilize this space all the time. Even in the winter, I like to come out and sit here, and there's a really nice view of the tree out of the porch door. So I figured I would just do things just mix it up a little bit. So we're gonna be decorating this Christmas tree. I've got the bins pulled. The tree is in the stand, it's watered, and we are gonna fill this tree in with lights, ribbon, and ornaments. I don't really have a theme I'm going for, but I guess in the back of my head there's gonna be probably an overall nature woodland vibe going on here, but I don't really have a solid plan, so we're just gonna kind of figure it out as we go, and I'll share the process with you guys. And so let's get started in decorating the Christmas tree together. I am putting incandescent lights on here. I'm always very conflicted about Christmas lights because the incandescent white lights have more of that yellow glow, but the LED ones are way brighter, and I like that brightness, but they have more of that white tint to them, which I'm not a huge fan of. But I don't know, some of these have already started to die off, so if I'm going to be replacing them, I'll probably go the LED route next. And you guys, I was Mannheim steamrolling. I put on Christmas music for myself for the first time yet this year, and you know, Mannheim steamroller will always be my favorite. It's definitely like that 80s synth vibe that does it for me. All right, we got the lights all on. I feel like that's the worst part, is putting on the lights. After that, it's usually somewhat fun and somewhat more smooth sailing. So next we are going to put some ribbon in here. Now, I have a massive Christmas ribbon collection, and I feel like ribbon is my way of making the tree have some sort of repetition and cohesion. I really like a mix of personal ornaments, but I feel like if you pick a ribbon that goes through the entire tree, it kind of just brings everything together, and I usually like to mix two together. So this year we've got these little mushrooms, which is kind of more in the traditional color scheme, but I do like that there's black in here as well. And then I also grabbed this kind of chiffon transparent red. We're gonna be doing a little more traditional colors in here. Normally I don't go for traditional colors. I like blue and green usually, but we're going with these traditional vibes. And you guys, I don't really buy anything new during peak Christmas season. I love getting stuff marked down at the end of the season, so all my ribbon always comes from the clearance stuff at the end of the year. So that's definitely where these guys came from. So let's go ahead and start popping in the ribbon to fill this guy in. For putting in the ribbon, I essentially just cut small little strips. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you try to get this perfect, you're gonna be fiddle farting around with it all day long, and at some point you gotta just let it be. But then what I say is, if there's a wonky part in the ribbon, you just cover it with an ornament. But I will say, I think putting ribbon on a faux Christmas tree is so much easier than putting it on a real Christmas tree. You have so much more full branchy bushiness to tuck the ribbon in on a fake one. All right, so we definitely ended up going harder on the ribbon than I initially was gonna do, but that's okay, we're gonna roll with it. Initially, I was just gonna do this mushroom and the red chiffon, but there wasn't enough pop, I guess, so I went back in with this glittery gold ribbon and then a few pieces of this gold plaid ribbon, just for a little bit of an extra pop. And I think it worked out pretty well. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. Honestly, the sun was right in my eyes as I was decorating part of this tree, but it's pretty overcast now. There are pumpkins still out hanging here, and Mom's right there too. So I need to actually get rid of some of these. But then I was also thinking, if you know me, you know I am way more into Halloween than Christmas. If these aren't getting gross, I actually might keep the white pumpkins and still decorate with them. So we'll see. But some of these are rotted and they got to get out of here. And then what I want to do is pull out any ornaments and just kind of sprawl them out on my table here and get to put in the ornaments on the tree. Collected all the pumpkins and I went and yeeted them out in the woodsy part of my land, and I pulled out all of my Christmas ornament tubs. One thing that I did not think through with putting my tree outside this year is how many glass ornaments I have. It is most likely not a good idea to put glass fragile ornaments on this tree, since one big gust of wind and I could be losing a bunch of those. So right now I have pulled out pretty much everything that's not breakable, or I know like these birds are breakable, but they have like the clips on them, and I know if I tuck them in and really clip them, they'll be okay. Otherwise, everything else is like plastic or, you know, something that's not going to shatter. I like limited myself to less than half of my ornaments by putting my tree outside this year. So as I was putting the ornaments on the tree, I completely forgot I have a bunch of like faux florals I wanted to stick in here to really fill it in. So I came back and stuck a couple of those in. I wish I had a few more of the gold ones that I put in here, but it is what it is. And then I also decided to put a cluster of these velvet poinsettias up at the top as kind of a focal point, and then the star obviously on top of that. I would say I'm decently happy with it. It's not my best work, but it's definitely not my worst work either. Yeah, you know, it's fine. I'm not obsessed with it. There's some cohesion to it as well as some like personal elements, so that's usually the kind of vibe that I go for. So I'll probably fill it in with a couple other things that I think about here and there, but otherwise I'd say I'm pretty much done with it. What I need to figure out is what I'm going to do around the bottom base. I have a fabric tree skirt, which I definitely don't want to use out here because it will get wet and it will get gross. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I need to get like probably a tree collar or something. I really don't want one of those galvanized ones. I like the wicker ones, but I know that that would get gross in the rain too. Maybe like a gold, ooh, like a hammered like brass or something. That would look really sharp. I'll have to do a little research. Break. What's really wild, you guys, is that right now It's like 63 degrees. I actually was starting to sweat a little bit decorating the tree. And we're having our little coffee break right now. I'm drinking a pumpkin spice coffee. Pumpkin flavor anything is still like a winter season flavor. It's not just fall. Just putting that out there. Someone woke up from their afternoon nap to come hang out and be a buggy. So I had intended to decorate this shelf, which is a houseplant shelf for the summertime that I installed just this past summer, but I don't know what I can put on there without it getting like ruined by the rain or the temperature, humidity, and obviously all my plants are brought in for the winter, so I don't know. I'm gonna let that sit for a minute and probably just leave it alone. But otherwise, I need to clean up my lovely statue here, put her probably back by the tree, just tidy up a little bit out here. And it is the next day now, and I needed to get a start on my exterior Christmas lights. So these little Arbor Vitaes here, I always like to put Christmas lights on, and I am sticking to what I have done in years past, which is red and white. I think in previous years I did just white on the Arbor Vitaes, and the red was on the like smaller shrubs, but they seemed really sparse with just the one strand. So I went back in with the red strands as well and did kind of a candy cane twist on them, which I think turned out pretty well. And of course, during the daytime, they never look nearly as good as they do at night. So it's always like a happy surprise when you see how they look at night. Because during the day, you're like, can you even see this? And then of course, a couple of my strands of lights were dead. So I had to make a little light run and picked up a few more strands. I ran out of working lights before I got to the last Arbor Vitae. If you've been with me for a while, you probably remember me planting these arbs a few years ago. I think I'm going on my 3rd year with them, and they've put on a lot of growth. But I do find it kind of odd that the smallest one on the end, on the left side, closest to my front door, is the one that gets the most sunlight, and it's the smallest one. And then just to zhuzh them up even a little bit further, I decided to use some plaid Christmas ribbon and make some big old bows to stick on the tops of my tree. And here is how my little arbs turned out. Now it is close to getting dark, so they look a lot better now. I think the bows were a nice little extra touch. I need to get that ugly hose out of here. And you will see I'm starting to mess with my window boxes. That is going to be on tomorrow's agenda. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do here, but I had these little garlands and I think they're going to look really pretty incorporated in here. And I'm going to weave this English ivy, I think, through them too, which I think is going to look really nice. But I have no idea what I'm going to put inside of them yet. I'm going for free. I'm really trying to be frugal I still plan to put some lights on these little holly shrubs. Got one there too. So that will also be on tomorrow's agenda. And then what I think I'll just do is wrap the columns with some lights and do some lights maybe up at the top. And then maybe do fairy lights again in my little topiaries. Or I was thinking I kind of want to build, I don't know, I want to do something with these topiaries, but I don't know what that's going to be yet. Like I kind of want something up on top of them to like make them taller, like a star or something. I don't know. Again, tomorrow's agenda, we will work on that together. So you can expect to see that in the next video after this. And then of course, the other thing that I am working on is getting a nice festive holiday layover for our big boys. So we got the Inferno, Pumpkin Man. Then we're also gonna do a holiday layover on our Scarecrow here too. That'll be the first time we've had him out for Christmas, but we're gonna move the big skeleton, Mr. Mortimer. He's gonna come over here. He's over there right now. So he will get moved over here and they'll kind of be all together. We're looking into ordering some giant Santa hats. And then Sam and I were just talking about making giant candy canes for them to hold. So some fun stuff going on with these guys. And then here is a closer look at my Christmas tree. Yeah, the top of the tree not being lit up is definitely bothering me. So I'm going to troubleshoot that in the next couple of days and hopefully get something glowing up there. If you are still here with me and still watching, I just want you to know I appreciate you so much. Thank you again for spending some time with me today and coming along with me as I decorated my Christmas tree. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. And for more outdoor decorating and home and garden related content, make sure you're subscribed to my channel. I hope everybody is doing well. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!